Today we are announcing 24 charges against John Geddert.
And within hours of that announcement, the U.S. Olympics coach was dead.
The body of John Geddert, coach of the gold medal winning 2012 U.S. women's gymnastics team in London, was found at a Clinton County rest stop. State investigators say Geddert died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
The 63-year-old was the fourth person charged in the scandal involving Larry Nassar, who's serving in prison for the rest of his life for molesting hundreds of young athletes.
Geddert is the former owner of Twistars Gymnastics Club near Lansing. Nassar worked at that club, and it's where his many victims say Nassar molested them in a back room.
Geddert came under suspicion shortly after Nassar was sentenced, and some of Nassar's survivors accused Geddert of physical and emotional abuse.
Attorney General Dana Nessel filed 24 charges against Geddert today, including 20 counts of human trafficking of a minor and 2 assault charges dating from an incident with a minor 9 years ago. Geddert was supposed to surrender to Eaton County authorities this afternoon, but never arrived.
Earlier tonight, I was able to speak with the first woman to speak publicly against disgraced former gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar, Rachel Den-Hollander, about today's developments. Rachel, you've been tweeting all day about the charges coming down against Geddert, and I want to focus on one particular tweet that you wrote today. Geddert's abuse, like so much, was never a secret ever. And then you go on to say it was known and he was promoted and given more power.
That's one of the greatest tragedies of all in this story, is that Geddert could have and should have been stopped decades ago. Who he was and what he was and how he coached was so well known, even in the early 2000s when I was a gymnast. And the fact that USAG continued to promote him and even made him the captain of the Olympic team in 2012 is unconscionable, because it sent the message that Geddert's abuse wasn't just tolerated, it was actually desired. It got the results they wanted. And that meant he got to continue abusing little girls for the next 20 years.
With Geddert taking his own life today just hours after 24 charges came down, do you feel the women and girls who came forward are being robbed of justice?
I think that's absolutely a dynamic that we have to wade through, and those emotions are going to have to be worked through in each survivor's own time. But I do hope what they can take away from this also is the power that their voice had, that speaking up mattered. It stopped an abuser, it stopped Geddert. It is helping dismantle the systems that have enabled abuse.
You said USA Gymnastics and so many other adults, coaches, doctors put little girls in harm's way every day. They put little girls into the hands of an abuser and his pedophile doctor every single day. Should we expect more people to fall from this?
Absolutely. There are so many abusive coaches and abusive leaders in USAG. The problems in USAG's culture have been known literally for decades. The rampant sexual abuse and physical abuse and the routine starvation of its athletes, the emotional abuse, none of that has been a secret. Literal books were written on this in the 90s, and nobody paid attention because nobody cared enough. What really needs to happen is a complete cleaning of USAG from top to bottom.
Now, I put a call into USA Gymnastics tonight about charges against Geddert. I'll let you know when I hear back. And Larry Nassar's first known victim, Sarah Klein, who trained with Geddert for more than 10 years, releasing a statement tonight. It says in part that Geddert's escape from justice is traumatizing beyond words, calling his suicide an admission of guilt the entire world can now see.